Nice. Hey. Nice. Hey, man, on my radio, man. Yeah. Let's go. I need you to turn that up. Damn it, right. Turn on the radio. You and I turn on the radio. Yeah.
Pull the way up like we in a club. Fly flashy, grown classy, so turn to the dub. Saturday mornings, no walk of shame, we fresh up. 950 lounge, that's my guilty pleasure. I don't miss my favorite show, I put everything on hold. Work the baby, even the babysitter know. When 950 come on, don't bother. I'm locked in 10 to 1, no problem.
Turn on the radio. You and I turn on the radio. Yeah.
But in any event, we have three talented ladies here this morning that are starting their own media venture and own media odyssey. The ladies from Girls Talk Sports TV, I got that right now. Christina J. Williams, founder and CEO, Miss Ari Chambers, and Miss Alyssa Jenkins. I said it right? I'm making sure. You messing my name one more time. Good morning, ladies. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us.
It's a real pleasure. I mean, Christina, again, like I said, it's almost like probably was just yesterday you started this thing. Because when I first, it's funny because I won't mention your last company, but I have reached out to them about some media stuff, and they said, hit Christina. Oh, okay. And then 3 days later, it was like, she's not there no more. But talk about Girls Talk Sports TV and what was the inspiration behind starting your own fledgling network?
Well, just to piggyback off what you just said,
Right.
yes, I was a part of a different venture, which we will not name,
Of course.
but I felt like their vision didn't align with what I believed. And
Right.
so Girls Talk Sports TV actually started in July 2018, about 3 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And the vision and the mission behind it was just simply to get women together, to give them a voice in sports, because I'm passionate about sports. I played basketball competitively. I've coached basketball. And so I've always had girls come up to me and say, oh, I see that you used to do TV hosting with Fashion One and TV. How can I get started?
Right.
And I never really had an answer to give them because I'm like, there's no one straight path to success. So with Girls Talk Sports TV, I wanted to create a platform for women to come together, have a voice in sports, and to empower the younger generation of girls who are playing sports, who may one day want to become a sports broadcaster.
Right.
I think that representation is very important, and so we have a diverse group of women here reporting for us, and it's taken off, and I'm very overwhelmed, but I'm grateful.
Well, again, I commend you for it, and that's one of the reasons why I really wanted you to come on the show, because in the time of age where we're living in now, I mean, it's, we've had issues in the past, but the issues are so upfront in our face every day. The Me Too movement, the Harvey Weinsteins, Bill Cosby,
Right.
Judge Kavanaugh. I mean, just the things that, I can't believe I said that, those words. But just the world we live in that I think, and I don't knock the Cardis of the world and things of that nature.
No, of course not.
But it's important to have women that are professional, that are doing their thing, that are showing us other ways to success and stardom than just their physical attributes.
I agree with that 100%. And,
No doubt.
And since we started in July, we've had women like Ari and Alyssa who, they all bring something different to the table.
Right.
And Ari, she covers the WNBA. She's a former New York Knicks cheerleader. She can tell you guys a little bit about that later. And Alyssa and I actually met at New York Fashion Week.
Wow.
I used to be a fashion reporter, like I said, for like about 4 years. And then Alyssa, we met at Fashion Week. I don't remember what show.
I think maybe Katie Gallagher. I'm not sure.
Oh my God, that was actually my first ever interview as a TV host, Katie Gallagher.
Okay.
Oh my God, that was so long ago.
Right.
But so we met there, and then when Alyssa found out I was starting Girls Talk Sports TV, she was like, well, I swim. And there's such a stereotype about women of color and or just people of color in general, and water and swimming.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, no, representation
Some of us
matters.
really
You know what
can't
I mean? That's true. Yeah, Alyssa will teach you how to swim.
Yeah.
So like having Alyssa on this team is equally important. She brings her Alyssa quick swim tips of the day, and just many different things that will break that stereotype. And just having each girl here, we bring something different to the table.
No
and
doubt.
yeah, I'm grateful for all of you ladies.
We're grateful for you.
Well, let me go to Ari.
Hello.
Again, you talk, hit one of those mics there. You said you obviously used to report for the WNBA.
She still does.
Still does.
Our mission is to push the
I
W.
don't want Kim Hampton coming after me.
That's the auntie. Yeah.
But obviously, something just came out this week that I think affected and angered a lot of women. I heard about the G League. You know, nothing wrong with getting younger players to avoid scandal in the college ranks. We don't want to go to class, but the $125,000 salary that now women are saying, wait a minute, accomplished women in the WNBA don't make that. Your thoughts?
Well,
covering
first
the
of all,
sport?
let me just shine light on the fact that LeVar Ball had this idea first. So
Right.
it's just like everybody looked at him crazy, but he was just a black man trying to take care of his family. So shouts to LeVar for your.
Well, I've actually
idea
met
again.
in Los Angeles. Shout out to
Yeah, I
LeVar
got
Ball.
respect for LeVar. I think, you know, I mean, I think every innovator is a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
So,
so
yeah.
there's that. But as far as the women, the max salary is around $117,000. So you have to realize that the 2018 MVP, FIBA World Cup winner and Olympic gold medalist
Right.
is making $110,000.
Yeah.
It's completely unfair to the women.
Right.
They've been fighting for it, and the argument was W doesn't bring enough revenue. But it's like the G League, come on, like they just start, you know.
They do not sell out
it's just-
fast in the NBA G League.
G League looks like.
I mean, no shade. The
yeah.
Liberty started playing where the Westchester Knicks played this
Yeah.
past season, and there's no way they can bring in that much revenue. So I'm concerned about the women feeling like they're so underappreciated. Mind you, it's the most competitive women's basketball league in the world.
Right.
So to be making $40,000 in your first year,
Right.
compared to an 18-year-old who's never had professional experience is a bit absurd.
Yeah.
And you're on that rookie contract for 3 to 4 years.
It's almost like why would women play in the WNBA?
Not
Yeah,
to
I mean, you
mention-
have a Liz Cambage who's Australian, and she's looking like, why would I even come to America? Because a lot of
Right.
people play in the summertime because it not only does it make you more money overseas, but you get to have your family watch you. You know, like
Yeah.
that makes sense to be in the States for that. However, if you're an Australian playing here, or if you're not American, having to play in this competitive league that wears and tears on your body.
Yeah.
And you don't get respect like the rest of the world. Like I went to Russia last year. They love them over there. They love them. They adore them. China, the fandom is crazy.
You ain't have to deal with no fake news.
Yeah, like no. I know. I had that 3-year Russian visa, so I might be going back. But no, they treat them like royalty. So
Yeah.
what is the incentive for these ladies to play and beat up their bodies like this? And it's just frustrating. But the CBA is gonna. They had the option to opt out on November 1st, so it should be an interesting time for the W in general.
Right.
So I'm actually fearful because I'm not sure that if they were to strike,
I don't know if
we
they
could
would have the
survive.
leverage.
I don't think we.
Right.
I don't know, and I
But
don't
you
want to
know-
speak on behalf of that. So.
But you know what? I look at it like this. I think that it comes within multiple women if they get together because it's across the board for all sports.
Absolutely.
Because it's just not only basketball, it's baseball, it's the women's football, everything. So whatever women's sports there is, they get so much underpaid. It's like you might as well work for McDonald's than play the sport.
Well,
if
I
that's
mean,
the way
yeah,
it
as a
is.
cheerleader, I made more
Yeah.
than some players, and so
Yeah.
that's kind of like troubling to me. But you have to realize, in 22 years of existence, we're way farther than the NBA
Yes.
was in their 22 years. But it's more of a matter of misogyny and like
Yeah.
men just really telling them to go back to the kitchen. Doesn't
Because
make
I
sense.
just think personally that if y'all get together, if all the sports get together, then y'all can probably be heard and then say, you're not going to get this, and then have some of the men come on board as well to help support you. Because I know some of the NBA men actually fought for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me go to Alyssa. You've been sitting there very patiently. I know you said with new family member catching up with some sleep.
Yeah.
But talk about how you come about. I know you guys met at a fashion event, But what do you see with Girls Talk Sports TV and where it's going? And it's very infancy stage.
Well, I just think that it's such a great platform that Christina created. It was needed. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I looked around, I'm like, there's not really anything like this out there. And
Right.
she's just such an innovator. I think she's great. But anyways,
Checks in the mail,
yeah,
right?
in regards to me and why I reached out to her is because I'm a swimmer. I'm an African American swimmer, and I grew up both in New York and in New Mexico, where
Where in
when we
New
see
Mexico?
black people in the grocery store in New Mexico and Santa Fe,
Santa Fe,
we'll
okay.
be like, my mom would be like, oh my God, hey, how are you? Like, so the fact that I was on the swim team there, I was like the only black person on the swim team, except there was another one on another team in the same town. So yeah, growing up, there was no representation.
Yeah.
But when I came to New York, and I've coached in the Hamptons and in Manhattan, and when I was coaching in Manhattan, I saw the Brooklyn Otters. I'm repping another team right now. But they had so many African American swimmers. I was coaching my own team and cheering for them at a meet. And then I was cheering for them too. And my other coaches were like, excuse me.
We pay you.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah. Sorry. But yeah.
That's just part of culture living. That's how you say, wow, coming from New Mexico. And I get that because I spent a couple of nights in La Cruces, and it wasn't a picnic. Just to
Oh no,
say-
Santa Fe is way better.
Yeah, I'm sure. But so from a standpoint to see like women just like you were, like, wow, we actually do swim. All of us don't shoot the jump shot, you know,
Yeah.
so that's a
And a
beautiful
big thing that holds black women back, even if they can swim, because a lot of people, black people, as we know, cannot swim.
Yeah.
Which I wanted to work with Cullen Jones one day. As you know, he's an Olympic athlete.
Yeah.
He made a program to get more black people in the water, and I wanted to reach out to him at some point to help him with that. But yeah, so I don't know. It just needs to happen. And like a lot of black women don't get in the water because of their hair. And they don't want to mess up their hair.
I'm glad you said that. I wasn't
Shout out to
listening.
the natural movement, because now I jump in pools all the time.
Exactly. So more black
It's
people-
probably a good thing my brother Rodeo's not here, because he would have came out and just said, well, somebody won't mess up that weed, but I don't want to say that.
said something
I
like
will
that.
probably say it because I know all the styles to keep your hair protected and in the pool, and your
She
hair.
will
My
be
hair
giving
is
you those
natural
tips
right
on
now.
Girls Talk Sports TV.
Yes.
There you go.
Tune into Girls Talk Sports TV because I will make a whole video about it.
And good moisturizer, too. when you come out of the
Exactly.
water.
Moisturizer.
So now, for yourself, do you follow a lot of the sports and the Olympics when it comes to the swimming parts of it?
Oh yeah, that's like the only part I tune in for. I mean, I tune in for other parts, but I'm really excited for the swimming part more than I think other
Not
people
gymnastics?
maybe.
I love gymnastics.
I love gymnastics.
Of course.
I
Ari.
love the winter sports as well because
Yes.
I also ski, snowboard. My
All
parents.
the stuff black people don't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, she was near Colorado, so I mean, in New Mexico.
No, but like my dad is like a man of all trades. He does every single sport, and
He
yes,
plays
both of
electric
my
guitar,
parents
too?
are black. I'm white, but they're both black. And yeah, so I do skiing, snowboarding, golf.
What's your
sailing.
handicap in golf?
Oh, I don't even know. I was on golf team in high school,
Okay.
and there was a little bit of a gender bias there. The coach, he was really just trying to coach the men, but I had to go get pointers from my dad. Wow. Yeah.
Your dad didn't go beat him up?
Nah, he's like, I don't have time for that.
Dad should not call my lawyer. But going back to you, Christina, from a standpoint, and I'm sure you've heard this, and probably not even just this, but just in general, like, it's great Girls Talk Sports TV, but what about the men? I mean, have men come to you and say, wow, I would love to be part of Girls Sport TV, so from a standpoint, is it, I know it's a simplistic question, but is it just biased to women, or you want men listeners, or everything is more geared, even though a man can listen, obviously, is it just geared to the female point of view?
So I think that there are enough platforms where men get to tell their opinions on sports, and so this is really geared towards her voice on sports news.
Right.
So women really giving their unfiltered opinion about the sports, because girls, we love sports. We watch them, we want to enjoy them, and we have opinions. However, on our creative team, you don't see him, but he is we have male creatives on our team. So here is Miguel. I don't know if it's
So you
showing
keep
him.
all the men in the background, like, no camera time.
No,
Miguel
not
holds the
exactly.
camera.
But Miguel, I mean, you know, he's been rocking with us since the beginning in July, and we really appreciate him. He helps
Yeah.
us with our content on Girls Talk Sports TV. But in front of the camera, it's going to be all women.
Yeah.
However, when we do launch our show in 2019, shameless plug,
I ain't mad at you. That's what you're here for.
we will actually do a roundtable talk, and we'll invite some of the sports bloggers from Instagram on, per sources, Ball God, what up? Real Fans, Real Talk, what up? We will invite them on at roundtable, and we'll have little debates.
I hope I'm invited, shameless
You
plug.
are invited, but I think it's very important. For instance, when we do post our post on Instagram with the daily sports news, the comments that we get back sometimes are crazy. Speaking about the G League professional path contract,
Right.
we've been getting several hits up. I have guys that DM me saying, I want to talk about on Girls Talk Sports TV. So we do get those emails and those DMs. But
Yeah, no Joanna, man.
But you know
No,
what?
no
But the
Joanna.
good thing
Yeah,
about that is that if you're getting things of that type of nature, that means they're paying attention.
they are.
So that's even more publicity for you. So that's a great thing as
yes.
well.
It's going to get real interesting real soon. So definitely tune in. I'm super excited to launch this thing, get it off the
Now
ground.
you got me want to watch this even more now. So I'm waiting for it to look at.
You
Definitely-
really should.
It will definitely be a treat. I'm super excited. And yeah, just stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to get real good.
Somebody saw my ad for you guys coming in today, and the first thing they said, "Oh, like the fumble." I said, "I don't think it's like the fumble."
It's not like the
and
fumble.
I wanted you to address that, but I'm gonna hold that before we go. We're gonna go to break.
Okay.
And I want you to address that because I defended you without even. I said, "No, it's not the fumble," and I know some people at the fumble, but I think you guys are a little bit different and going for a different way. We keep it locked here. 9 Lounge live on a Saturday. Come on back. We are back on the ride. I call the Grizzlies Experience you want to find a Saturday morning, and maybe anywhere, except for Girls Talk Sports TV. 950 Lounge on a Saturday again. We're joined by Christina J. Williams, Ari
Really
Chambers.
wrong.
He's bad with
and
names.
Alyssa
Ariel Chambers.
Thank
We're gonna
you.
get that right.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
bad. He's just bad with
The
names.
name's their identity.
But you
so
can
yeah,
call
sorry.
her. You can call
But
her
I'm
Ari.
calling her Ari.
Ari.
And Miss Lovely Poodle, Alyssa J. What type of dog was that you got?
I just got a Cavapoo.
Oh,
So
they
it's a
don't do-
Cavalier and a
You
poodle.
don't have that in the hood. You know, you got either a pit bull or a poodle. There's no in between.
Don't be jealous of the hood like that.
But talking about stereotypes that you just mentioned, you mentioned somebody hit you on the live. I know we have lives going on, technology in full bloom, and they was mentioning about black girls and swimming don't mix. You said I wanted to give you a chance to touch on that.
Yeah, I just hate when people like continue these stereotypes when we're trying to break them. It's like, let us get in the pool, rock it. Like every sport that we do, we rock. Like, come on, it's. As soon as Cullen Jones hopped in that pool, he was on the team,
Right.
he was like instantly just killing it.
Right.
Simone Manuel,
Right.
you guys know her.
Absolutely.
Like, come on. So, I don't know. And especially when you go back in history where they would throw acid in the pool when we would get in the water because it was like, it's like we've come so far. And I'm like, we should just keep going further. We can't keep perpetuating these stereotypes. We got to move past them, get in the water, take a class.
Yes.
So, you know.
But you know what it is?
Well,
Because I think of it mostly like this, because some people have that mindset that they think that it's too white or something else to be doing those type of sports. But if you look at a lot of sports, a lot of people doing, like, black people skateboard, black people do extreme sports, black
Exactly.
people skydive. It's not like you have to be stuck in a little small box that you put yourself into. Just
You
because
don't
may
only
not,
play basketball.
yeah, just because you're not knowing anything outside your neighborhood don't mean that that it's not being done.
Right. Now, we were talking before we went on break about the fumble. And like I said,
Shout out to those women.
Yeah, respect. You know, I keep in touch with a few of them. And somebody had mentioned, oh, like the fumble. I said, no. But I want to give that to you, Christina, about the definition between what you guys do and, you know, what people see out there and want to put you in a box.
Well, I think it's important to say that I really did not create Girls Talk Sports with the intentions of comparing us to anyone.
Right.
For me, the mission of Girls Talk Sports and what I believe in and my life purpose, you know, I want to make a positive impact on this world. That was more important to show through this platform than comparing myself to what everyone else is doing.
Right.
We are one of one. You know, so I really don't compare this company or what I'm doing with anyone else. So, but shout out to the women at the Fumble. I think that it's great for women in sports what they're doing. They have their own lane and we have our own lane. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Definitely. What do you guys think about, and again, we're talking to the ladies from Girls Talk Sports TV, about like some of the sports and like lingerie and different sports that, you know, they're very athletic women.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure they'll probably knock Ed out in a second, some of
Why
those
you gotta
ladies.
try to pick
He's
somebody's back out? You
bringing
be knocking
the
yourself out.
hardcore questions today.
This is what we do on a Saturday
They
morning.
can catch me, then they good.
Right, there you go. Oh, somebody will catch you. But just some of the sports that maybe are kind of trying to play in the TNA world. Like I know, like that used to be big in wrestling. Like you had the female wrestler, and you like they went from like the fabulous Moolah to the big brawler to like
China.
yeah, exactly. But your thoughts on those type of sports that you know that emphasize body shape, but yet still are athletic women.
I think that women should have the choice to play however they want to play.
Okay.
If it's in lingerie, so be it.
Right.
I don't mind a woman putting on a bra set and going to play football if she's kicking ass. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of it's not even for male consumption. I mean, the fact that we sexualize it. I mean, granted, that's like the premise of it. But if that's what they want to do, I'm all for it.
Right.
And if they want to put
So you're not
Adjust
hiding your
it.
sexuality, but hey, you're gonna respect
a woman
what I
should
do.
be able
Right.
to embrace her sexuality. A woman should be able to be like, I'm sexy. Like, as far as professional cheerleading, I mean, granted, I see where it's going. It's going to more co-ed. We're wearing sweats and stuff like that. But like, I like wearing my little shorts. I like my crop top.
Right.
And I'm not going to be ashamed of that. And I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. I love
Right.
to prance around and
Right.
have my makeup done. I mean, I know you can't tell because I'm barefaced, y'all.
No,
but
you're
like,
beautiful.
no,
Just
I
like
love
you.
when I
Like,
wear
so
these
beautiful.
extra,
Still beautiful.
the lashes, the buckles
Yes.
down to
Right.
my knees. But that's for me.
Right.
That's not for y'all. Like,
Right.
you know,
Right,
it,
it's
it could
right.
be for your entertainment, but as far as those leagues, I don't mind. Do your thing, girl.
Right. See, I think like as men, and speaking for the not for everybody, speaking for myself.
Yes, thank you.
But I think a lot of men get caught up in that. And again, you mentioned it's not for us. You do things to make you happy. Again, like I said, we are people on this planet, but we both have certain characteristics that.
Yeah, I mean,
affect-
we're aware that,
Right.
that it's sexualized. We're
Right.
aware of that. And if you want to embrace that, so be it. If you want to stay away from it, so be it.
Yeah.
A lot, like, I love playing volleyball. I like short shorts,
Yeah.
period.
Right.
I'm not potting around, but like, I like short shorts. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
But I think what it is, basically, when you look at a lot of that stuff like that lingerie football, the whole thing is that it's just the fact that it's something to bring somebody to watch. But then
Right.
once you get to see it and you see how the athleticism of the women and everything else, how they running, how they hitting, how they playing, then you really take it to a different thing. So, wow, that girl can
But
hit.
it-
That girl is this. So it's a way of just bringing them in there. But some of the guys, once they see how well the women play, then they start to follow it a little bit more.
Okay, so those men that claim that they just like sports, we have to ask, or you guys have to ask yourselves, why is that necessary
True.
to even show up in the arena? And that's why I think that W struggles a lot because,
We're not sexualizing them.
yeah, you're not sexualizing. They're true, pure athletes that know how to play basketball. So it's troublesome to me that everybody's like, well, they're not sexy enough. I'm like, they're not here for you.
They're not here for you, right.
They're not here for male consumption. They're here
Right.
to play their sport. We don't, well, my mom always says I miss the 90s with the little NBA shorts. But like, I'm not like,
That
y'all
was
about
the
to go
80s.
play football in these Speedos, y'all. No, like that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy. Just
Yeah.
to get me to go to that game, I have an appreciation for sports.
Yeah.
And men, it's just confusing because you guys claim to be the ones who are like pioneering for sports and like we know the game. So why don't y'all just watch the
The
game?
But you
main
know what?
critics as well.
Watch the
But
game.
see, I think it's more of the people on the sports end that's marketing it. Because if they don't market that way, then you know there's a way how you're catching something of being sex appeal. But personally, if you really just sit there and say, okay, if they stop marketing that way, then probably the ideas and everything else start getting away from the sexuality of looking at it that way.
But you have to get in the gym, the arena, the field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
See, and that's the
Yeah.
reason why it's like hand in hand in that way. But personally, I understand where you're coming from, everything else. It shouldn't be that way, because I mean, I watch the gymnastics, I watch the volleyball, I watch all the winter sports and everything else like that with a lot of women playing in it. It doesn't matter what you, because that's just the way it feels. It's more easy to be flexible and move about when you have those type of outfits on.
Yeah.
It's just as men, and I'm gonna go to Nelson in a minute. He's the youngest one, but maybe the most intelligent. But when it comes to men, we just have this hang up that we have this tunnel vision, what we believe defines a woman, what a woman should be. Yeah, we want you athletic and in shape, but we necessarily don't want you to be, the coal miner's daughter or, Ronda Rousey. We don't want, I think a lot of men have a fear, and it's a subconscious fear of a woman beating them or kicking their ass, and a fight like Bobby Riggs, and we could go back to Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King.
So
and,
putting on lingerie helps your feeling?
No, the lingerie makes it sex appealish where they don't mind the actual competition.
I get it.
It's almost like being at the strip club and they wearing helmets. And I'm not, hey, call it what it is. Because again, there's like the New York Sharks and there's professional women football that really get it in, but they're not sexualizing it. I think the people at lingerie, and I know some of those people over there, they've done that to try to soften the blow, because they have a male audience. And that male audience is just turned on because they go after models and different forms of, they put on makeup before they put the helmet on. I don't think that's necessarily sport. It is sport because they're great athletes, but this is a form of entertainment.
Well, sports are entertainment.
Yes.
They're
Right,
perfectly
but
juxtaposed
there's
entertainment,
more entertainment than other things. Like the NBA, we get it. The NBA is probably the greatest form of marketers in the sport right now. The NBA is popular in July, but they're, again, the world's greatest athletes. You're not going to an NBA game to see LeBron if he's got a bald spot in his head, or if somebody didn't shave or
So
what
I
have
have a question for you. They're the world's greatest athletes, but then you have the W on the side that hasn't not gotten
They're
a
the
gold
world's
since
greatest
96.
athletes
They
as
have
well.
gotten a gold medal every Olympics since 96 in FIBA.
Right.
So it's like,
Well, that's true, but because and again, not to debate it, but the
fragile
NBA,
masculinity.
the 92 Dream Team opened up the basketball to the world. Guys started to say, you know what, I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Magic. That opened up the world to sports, to the hardwood. So now you had a kid that maybe he was in Germany, would be a soccer player or do something else. Now he's shooting hoops. It became a global sport.
okay, so when it was 96 Dream Team, and then when I was in 96 Dream Team,
With Lisa
was Don
Leslie.
Staley.
Right, with Lisa Leslie, yeah.
And so though I never picked up a ball, I was paying attention.
Who also crossed in pop culture, were on TV and commercials and everything
Well,
else.
Dawn is now a coach at South Carolina.
She
right?
is. Shout
and
out. She
very
got
successful
2017
like that.
national champion.
Hammond.
She is now the Team USA head
Right.
coach.
Yeah.
Shouts to Don
You have
Staley,
women
Donnie.
who played in the W who are
Donnie.
playing, making strides. And
Right.
why are we not showing enough attention to that?
I hate to keep forcing it down your throat, but I will.
No, and I ain't mad at you.
It's good.
You're gonna, and I'm with you. So you're not getting we just doing this for consumption,
of course.
conversation.
Right.
But I just think again, the NBA has a duty to make sure this stuff, because again, they're making billions of dollars. They have a global sport. I know in the past people have said underneath their breath that the NBA is just doing it because they just Title IX and what have you. But they have I think the women's game, women basketball players play below the rim. The NBA plays above the rim. Women are great handlers. Well,
You just started up this, but it's good.
You don't see the women. No, that's the truth. We don't. The women's game is played below the
So
rim.
you just want to see basketball for the dunks? That's what.
No,
the
I'm
highlight-
saying
because women
I-
have fundamentals. If
I
you want
agree.
to learn how to play basketball, you will watch women. They play defense, unlike
Right.
the NBA. No shade, but they
Right.
do. They have the same tricks. They just, like I said.
Right.
But then there are a lot of them that can dunk. I was just talking to Shavonte Zealous on the Shadow League yesterday, and she was telling me how Glory was just dunking like 1-2 bam, just
Right.
ramming it.
Right.
And it's just like, yeah, they can dunk. They have the skill set to dunk.
Right.
But they're playing basketball, so they're gonna come up with the best option for that play.
But
Yeah.
now this is what I'm looking at right now, and that's how I equate a couple of things. I'm thinking of this because of the fact that it's not really making much money, like how back in the days, like how the Negro leagues and all those other leagues wasn't making money, but it does have a following.
That's that boy. You
But
Not
then
cult following,
it has
but
a
like a
it has a
small cult,
following,
yeah.
but it's just that until it makes a lot of money, it's not going to be broadcast out and put out in that type of fashion. And that's the sad thing to say about it, because you remember, like, until Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, then sad thing to say, the Negro leagues went away. But a lot of those things are the same thing. It's that if you don't make the money, you're not going to get broadcast out there. Not many people are going to look at it and take it much more serious.
Well,
And
I
that's
do
what
have
that
to
is.
say that ratings are up higher than ever
38%.
before. Stadiums are being sold out.
But now what about broadcasting?
Well, broadcasting,
Well, they-
exactly.
But that's the problem.
Right.
That's the main problem.
Yeah, and that's where the money is made at. Because if you was to sit there and have all those same things making all like that, and then they was making a lot of money on the visual part of it, then you'll see it to get more things like the NBA or the NFL and all them other sports.
And that's why we created Girls Talk Sports TV.
Which is great.
To highlight
Yes.
that, you know, to give these women a platform to talk and be the media that's lacking and missing at the games, where we cover New York Liberty and there's only like less than 10 outlets there. Like,
See,
come on.
Right.
See, because the sad thing I look at it is basically with the women itself. It's like y'all always get a second-rate situation, no matter what. It's
Well,
like
the
even when it comes-
teams are doing
No,
it
no, it's
now,
not. No,
right.
but I'm talking about not even besides that. Even like with announcing, even going out there broadcasting,
Well,
even
yeah,
with all the
because we'll
stuff like
get
that.
knocked to ESPN News or something.
Or
That's why I almost
ESPN
wish.
2.
That's what, but news though,
Yeah.
not even 2. So I kind of wish that Lifetime would have that
Yes.
that contract that they had when it first came out.
Right, and then when it first came out, the NBA made a conscious effort to put them in the same arenas.
Yes.
They're now playing in second-rate arenas. Like you said, the Liberty play in Westchester instead of
We
the
don't
Garden.
even talk about the Westchester
Yeah,
County
we
game.
don't.
It's so sad.
Um,
They had one bathroom in that locker room. It was the
Yeah,
saddest thing
yeah, I
ever.
know. It's not really an arena. It's a hall.
It's an auditorium.
Right. You know, the Dream play at Georgia Tech. So I mean, the NBA in their own quiet way, the Lakers. I don't think the Sparks play at the Staples anymore.
They do.
They do
do.
play at the
They
Staples.
absolutely do.
Okay.
They are
okay.
a huge franchise.
But I'm just saying, the NBA has got to be the ones that keep the momentum going, because again, it came out when they first came out years ago with Lobo and Teaspoon, that group. They were in
Shouts.
NBA arenas.
That's that Liberty,
You know?
but
Yeah, well, you know, big shout to Kim Hampton, French. She's been on the show, and I support. I like a WNBA game.
Yeah.
In the middle of summer, I go out. I think it's an affordable entertainment. You can go out there and not break your pocket.
$13 for lower bowl at MSG
Yeah.
back then. So imagine.
So, but I just think again, there's people are talking about it, but yet I know reporters that will remain nameless that won't discuss it on their shows. They refuse. Like they had a great finals,
Yes.
you know, this year, and there's people who go around and say I won't talk about it. So I agree with you. I'm just giving the serve and volley
course,
point
of
that.
course.
There's something lacking, and I think this is why it's important to have a network like you guys, because the things you've done in a couple of months, you just getting started. So, you know, it's a great thing. Now, going back to our swimmer, because I don't want to forget her, when it comes
No worries.
when it comes to the swimming aspect, now there's no I mean, I think it's a professional swim tour. Maybe not here, but
It's more for the Olympics, like qualifications.
So a swimmer pretty much is going for the gold medal, and
Swim meets.
their thought is just maybe getting that, maybe being on a Wheaties box or something like that, some advertising, and then just go
Sponsorship.
out and find work on Wall Street.
Yeah. I mean, that's the sad thing about it. I mean,
Right.
the Olympics is the really, like,
The
only
pinnacle.
the pinnacle,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, see, and that's the sad thing, because like if you look at all the sports that does play in the Olympics, all of those don't really get that much broadcasting. And what they do is that they play all the times around their local areas and in a small market.
Right.
You may find them on like ESPN, like 3, the lower parts of it.
ESPN 65.
Yeah, but as in for all the stuff, I mean, they do have a lot of swim meets that if you go out there, you see they have the swim meets going on, they have the track meets, they have all those things, but they are trying to get on to the Olympics team.
When we come back, since you guys are sports reporters, we're going to talk a little sports. The NBA just started. Game 7 this evening in baseball, and you know, college football. Y'all under that? I see you got somebody at San Diego State.
I
so
went to a Power
Yes.
5 conference, so like,
Yeah.
I'm all
Alright, so
about
we
I'm an
gonna-
ACC baby. Like,
All right, hold that ACC baby.
Pac
We're gonna take a
Pride,
quick
NC
break.
State all day. Sorry.
Girls Talk Sports TV, Non-Free Lounge. Come on back. On the ride, Non-Free Lounge, still joined by the ladies of Girls Talk Sports TV, Christina, Alyssa, and Ari, and we're gonna talk a little sports. Since they are sports reporters, this is what they. Enough of the hard stuff, you
Putting
know.
us in the hot seat.
But I'll start with you, Ari. You mentioned before the break your ACC fan. Which school in ACC?
I'm NC State all day.
Okay, so you're Wolfpack. They got a big game today.
Clemson.
Two undefeated.
Yeah.
Actually, no, not that I'm buttering you up by any stretch of the imagination, but I think NC State's got a chance to win that game.
You know, it's funny because we always win the games that we're not necessarily supposed to win. Not saying we're not supposed to win it this year because, hey, undefeated, hello.
Got a big time quarterback.
Yeah. So, yeah, I went to NC State, graduated, was supposed to be in 2012, so.
Hey, well, you made it through.
We
Listen.
gonna play any class in that whole era, but.
They don't put when you left, when you get
It's just, I went to NC State.
Uh-huh.
But yes, so tune in, guys. ACC all day. You know, we're a power conference, and tune in to college football. It's on.
Now, Alyssa, I know you're a swimmer, but you like what other sports do you like? Because swimming's not on every day. So I know
Unfortunately. I mean, I like watching basketball.
NBA.
I
Yeah,
took
I like
her
the
to
NBA.
a game last season.
Christina.
You can
Here in
catch
New
me.
York?
Yeah, you can catch
Yeah.
me courtside.
I hear you. Yeah, I seen it somewhere. You said you don't. If it ain't courtside seats, you ain't going. So I need to roll with you.
I remember one
Them
time.
nosebleed. Hell with them nosebleed seats. But so basketball is their favorite team?
Well, I like the Heat, but okay, listen.
Okay, we're gonna
I
cut
only
your
like the Heat
mic off.
because I met Coach Spo and he was really nice, and I met some of the players.
So we got here in New
But-
York, we got an old Heat assistant. So.
Yeah, so that's the only like I basically like.
He said, yeah, who that over? Who is he?
No, I basically just I like LeBron, and I like.
That's
No.
okay. That's good.
so-
That's good.
I'm your basketball girl.
Well, let's go to our basketball.
Why you think that bad?
Because there ain't no swimming on. We in the
To
Olympic
back
year.
my girl
doesn't have
up,
to be
I
big
do
on it.
also like the Heat because of what Dwayne Wade has done to the game of basketball since he came in 2003. Dwayne Wade is actually one of the reasons why I decided to pick up a basketball. I'm a little young. I'm still in my 20s, guys.
Why is that?
Why is that? Just like the whole Flash movement in 2003. I mean, me seeing that as a kid, I was just like, man, I want to do that. I want to play basketball.
So
I know that wasn't necessarily a woman who like. Well, no, I grew up watching Lisa Leslie as well, but like.
Sorry.
Right? No, seriously, the Sparks. No, seriously, like as a kid.
So you was more that because again that draft was Wade, LeBron, and Melo. So
I
you
was
had
more of, I used to argue in the locker room with my teammates. I was a huge Flash Dwayne Wade fan, and just to see over my lifetime him come into the NBA and now he's retiring after all of these years. I'm so
It's
sad.
hard to be big that long, right?
It is time. It's time. But I appreciate him coming back
to Miami. Shouldn't
to
never left.
Miami. He shouldn't have left. The
Yeah.
organization did him dirty.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, they didn't.
Coach Spo.
You say they
Pat,
did them
right.
dirty, but it's business.
Yeah, the
Anytime-
business of business is business.
This is why I don't have a
Correct.
problem. I know we're flipping sports here. That's why I don't have a problem with Le'Veon Bell. I don't have a problem with these guys because
Holding out and not
because
playing.
the
right?
organization is going to do what they got to do. Now, your guy Wade, he opened the door for Shaq, or he was on a rookie deal then, but he definitely opened the door for LeBron and Bosh.
No, but he definitely opened the door for Shaq too because Shaq.
But he was on a rookie
Shaq's
deal.
But
then.
it
player
doesn't
career
matter.
was
But it was supposed to be.
declining.
But it was
Right.
supposed to be his team.
Right.
And then he went and said, "Okay, I'll play the second fiddle," and then came back and did the second
But
fiddle.
money
again for
wise, he
LeBron.
was on a rookie deal. He
Dwayne
really,
Wade has always like took pay cuts for teammates. He's always
Yeah.
taken a step back and was just so humble throughout his career. I mean, how can you not applaud someone like that? And he has 3 rings. Come on, 3 rings.
I don't know if he was so humble in Cleveland, but that's just my opinion.
Well, last season, I don't know what was happening in Cleveland.
Yeah, it
You
was a
had
train
Isaiah
wreck.
Thomas, you had Derrick Rose,
I think
Wade.
that
It was just one big mess.
That was just a mess
Shout out to
too.
Derrick Rose too, because he's one of my favorite players as well growing up.
I feel for Derrick Rose. I remember seeing Derrick Rose, and I know I'm showing my age. When Derrick Rose was with Memphis College, and
Yeah.
they came to the Garden with some game. He was a freshman. He only played 1 year in Memphis. I'm like, wow, that kid's gonna be something. That's the first time I met
But let's talk
Worldwide
about
West.
the Timberwolves and Tom Thibodeau and that whole mess with Jimmy Butler and what's going on in Minnesota.
Well, I think again.
I just took over the interview.
No, that's fine. That's okay. You did. That's okay. And it's okay. You report. I know it's in your genes. But the Jimmy Butler thing reminds me a lot of, and again, I'm showing my age, Mashburn, Kid, and Jimmy Jackson. Where, unfortunately, I know we're talking girls empowerment, but it always seems to be a woman involved when there's strife between 2 players. And that's what seems to be the issue here.
Kava, let me just speak up for that girl. She came out. She did not sleep with Jimmy Butler. If that's what you're trying to say.
It's irrelevant if she slept with him. The gripe and the issue has a centerpiece of a female. It's not irrelevant what happened. I didn't
think
even
it's
want to
more
go
of a
there.
male egos. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
think-
but it stems from a woman. And again, in my day, in a locker room, and I'm not going to talk about what we talk about in the locker room.
Boy,
But
if
Looks,
girl.
if
But
looks
it-
can kill,
it's the
It'll
truth.
be it right now for you.
you got a guy like Jimmy Butler who's probably really talented. The Wolves won't pay him, but they've already committed to Towns and Wiggins. So it's probably,
Wiggins, who's very much overrated and has not produced the amount of work.
I don't think Wiggins really loves basketball. I think he loves the lifestyle of basketball and what
That's
the
interesting.
basketball can do for him. He's a great talent, but doesn't have that dog in him. While Jimmy Butler's a guy that's been homeless. Jimmy Butler's a guy that didn't come in the league from Marquette as a ballyhoo player.
Right.
So he's got to earn all his cookies. So now he's in a situation where Tibbs knows that, because Tibbs got his jobs on the line.
They need to fire Tibbs as a coach and the president of basketball operations.
Well, I think the president will go first, but if he doesn't win this year, then he definitely will go. But you gotta, the centerpiece is Towns, and Towns just is not. He's not that dog. He's
Yeah.
not Jimmy Butler.
He's not.
Right.
And where we have people like Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins he has to go up against, Towns can't compete with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he should be able to with the band of his stature and his build.
So do you
he should be
think,
able
as
to.
an athlete, and you're a former basketball player as well, so you
Very,
get
very
that.
former, yeah.
Well, hey, listen, we're all former something. I'm former football player. I ain't running no more gridirons no more either. But do you feel that having talent, because we know there's a lot of everybody in the NBA has got talent.
Right.
But is talent enough?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
You have to put in that hard work. What's that old saying? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So that's
Sometimes.
what Jimmy Butler is trying to say to Towns and Wiggins. Like, yo, like I'm
Right.
putting my best foot forward every time.
But
I
is he
step on
doing
the
it the right way? Because what he's doing is alienating his teammates. This is a team. He's not Floyd Mayweather, and Jimmy Butler is not LeBron James. Why
I
he's
think
a
his
good
approach
player.
is a little off.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
But I mean, just look at where you said, like you said, he was homeless and like
Right.
he comes from.
But he's
I mean,
also won one playoff game. So what gives him the right to come to these guys?
Well, the Timberwolves made the playoffs last season thanks to Jimmy Butler.
The 8th seed when they were the 3 seed throughout the season.
Right.
So when I like Jimmy Butler. Listen, I'm a Knicks fan. I like to see Jimmy Butler in blue and orange. But you got to understand that he had the falling out in Chicago. Okay, now he's in Minnesota and he's having the same issues. You know, 1 is an accident, 2 is a coincidence, and 3 is not by mistake.
True.
So asking the sports reporters, your thoughts on what Minnesota should do. Should they get rid of Jimmy Butler because even though he's a great talent, he's going to kill our team chemistry? You got the
Team chemistry, guys. Come
You
on,
got
let's
the
speak on team
owner.
chemistry.
You got the owner coming out saying, "I got to get rid of him." The guy who writes the checks. It's a dumpster fire. But your
I
thoughts?
think you have to get rid of the toxic energy in any case. But
Right.
also, I mean, kudos to him for valuing himself as what he thinks that he can bring to a team.
Told
Right.
them you effing need me.
So
Right.
if you can get all the third and fourth string and do that, like
Right.
to me it's just like prove your worth, but as an organization you have to push out what's messing up your chemistry. You just
Right.
have to. You can't keep that cavity.
But that's just like if you came into Christina's office and said, "You need
me."
Right, exactly.
You need me.
This is
No,
not
but
Rucker
like-
Park. This is professional basketball. There's protocol.
I
You
know,
know,
but it's a lot of
He came in
instances
and
when you
dropped that
do
mic.
when
Right.
you do get rid of that one thing that's plaguing you,
Right.
it will help you rise. But
I also
you know,
think part of the plague is Tom Thibodeau as well, because the definition of insanity or whatever is doing the same thing over. It's proven time and time again. His offense and defensive strategies
well, he's
are
a war
not,
horse. He's a war horse.
not working. It's
Right.
actually wearing and tearing. What he did with Zach LaVine, when Zach LaVine got injured that season and
Yeah.
had him still playing on the court, you know what I mean? And then they ended up trading him
Yeah.
right after that. But
Right.
he wears and tears his players. His team lacks. He's a defensive coach, and his team clearly. I mean, other than Jimmy
Right.
Butler, who is a great two-way player,
Right.
he
Yeah.
don't play defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not working there. And he
See,
didn't
it's kind of funny because that sounds like the same thing. Not to be jumping into the next sport like that, which is the same thing like within the Giants.
Right.
Where the Giants have
Odell.
who's running around beating up on lampposts, running out at halftime and stuff like that, punching walls.
He's passionate and he wants to win, and I don't blame him.
But do you find that to be a distraction as well?
I mean, it could take away from, like we said, the team chemistry is just as important as physicality and being able to play.
Yeah, and then calling your quarterback out.
You think Odell's a team player?
No
Or he's a
comment.
meat hurt. He's a meat guy.
Listen. The thing about Odell, he's a phenomenal talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if I'm an owner, and then they paid him his money because the NFL, as you guys mentioned, sports is entertainment.
Yes,
So
it
you
is.
got to get butts
Right.
in seats. You
Right.
know, he's
me
washing
in
the
the seat.
shampoo and shampoo commercials. But anytime you bring somebody into an interview, right? An interview mid-season, he's already got his money. He wasn't doing his talk before they signed to give him a long term. You bring a celebrity sit next to you, you rip your quarterback, you rip your team, and then you come back the night before a game and goes, I want to talk to the team. There's no coming back from that. Now we all know, we watch Eli, and
Right.
you was probably happy because you're an
Yeah.
Eagles fan. He's done. Listen,
No, he's
Father
done.
Time
He's
is
done.
undefeated.
Yeah.
But I play football. That is the ultimate team sport because if you don't, if somebody don't block for you, that's your ass.
You have to
You
have
know,
that.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
your, that's
so-
your line right there.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about me?
Yeah.
I'll miss that block, and it's happened. So for him to come out like that, he had the look on his face last week, like, you know what, I got my money.
Right.
You know, you can't trade me now. The best player on that team is Saquon, and the most professional player on that
See,
team
but
is
well, he's a
Saquon.
young, and then that's why you saw Saquon staying away from him.
Right.
And they're trying to keep him away from him because he don't need to have that negativity and grow up into.
But
that
what's
type of-
going to happen with the Giants? And I'm not a Giant fan.
I'm
on
not-
record. I'm a Jet fan.
I'm gonna tell you what.
I have enough
Giants
misery.
fan.
I'm gonna tell you what
The Knicks,
you
right?
want to know what they need to do?
No, go ahead.
Well, I can tell you what they need to do, even though I'm not a Giant fan, but they need to get rid of their quarterback, number one.
We know that.
They
That's
need to
easy.
They need to trade.
They're not
Odell.
trading.
No, they need
Not
to.
going
They
to.
can't trade Odell.
No, you know what?
They can't.
You can't
Face
never,
of
you know
the
what? I'm gonna tell you like
franchise.
this, and you take it from me. Never say they can't. Because what happened to my team when Chip Kelly came over and traded all my people for broken down ducks?
They didn't sign none of your.
And that was, it didn't matter. They did sign some of them and they traded them for broken down ducks.
None of those Philadelphia Ducks are
Like I
making
said,
over
right
$100
now-
million.
but like I said, but right now he got paid his upfront money, and they still can try to get somebody to buy the contract. It doesn't matter. Money doesn't mean if you can get a better team for things, that's what's going to happen.
Well, didn't they give him? What did he get? For
They-
$50 million? He got.
He got 45.
All right, yeah,
Up
40.
front.
So wait a minute, you a homeowner, right?
Yeah.
You mean tell me I just gave somebody a $45 million check and I'm gonna let him walk?
No, you're not going to, I'm saying that's why you say you're going to trade him and get certain things. You
What
can get-
value can he give for? He's not
you-
gonna win a third
right
round
now-
pick.
But you know what? He's a good value. I'm not going to say he isn't. He is a good value.
best
This is-
receiver
but
in the
his-
league when he's
but his
healthy.
But his antics are bad. But
Right.
the whole thing is, they can get a first rounder. They can get 2 second rounders. They can get a couple of rounders for it.
Aubrey, you mentioned you're a Giant fan.
No, I
No,
didn't.
she didn't.
Who said-
She didn't.
Oh, okay. The Giant Swimmers.
North Carolina all day.
The Giant Swimmers. Okay. So you're a Giant fan, listen. So
Yeah, softly.
okay, well,
All
give me
right.
your soft opinion on the
Odell.
outrage.
The Odell.
Odell,
I
I mean,
mean,
yeah.
I don't really want to.
Well, I can say as
Anything
a
about
former athlete
Yes.
and as someone, I did, when I was in high school, I'm gonna bring up something. I'm a very passionate person when I'm on the court. And so there was one situation in high school where myself and my point guard, we were not getting along that day. We, just was not seeing eye to eye. And she would not pass me the ball. And I was open, and she would not pass me the ball. So do you guys know what I did? At halftime, I packed up my stuff, and I left off the court, and I was like, peace team, I'm out.
Wow.
Well, your coach was real nice.
Wait. No, she wasn't. No, she
What's
wasn't.
your nickname, Willie Beeman? I mean, like, you just walking in?
And they lost the game. I was like, well, you don't want to pass me the ball? Cool, I'm out. The very next practice, I definitely got penalized. The next game, I thought I was starting.
Wait a minute, the coach
No.
let
He's on
you
the
back?
coach, huh?
The coach
She let
you
me back on the team,
Okay.
but the next game I was benched for all 4 quarters.
Okay.
But that's a
You
way
know
of
what I
getting you
mean?
back in order, right?
But team, like I said, going back to team chemistry, it is everything. Like you have to click with your teammates.
Listen,
Yeah.
become Serena, become Floyd Mayweather. If you can't deal with a team sport, team sports is all about your teammates. Even if
Right.
you want to tell the truth, and
Right.
as a former athlete, you don't tell the truth. I'll never tell somebody in the locker room.
I learned a lot that day when I walked off the
Yeah,
court.
because again, ultimately, your success is locked in with somebody else.
is,
Unless
exactly.
you're playing an individual sport.
You got to remember that thing that they always say is actually true. There's no I in team.
There definitely isn't.
And you just got to, the only thing is I is win. So you got to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you keep on playing together to win. So that's how it goes.
Let's talk about LeBron James now. We're talking about an
Yes.
eye. Even though people,
Instead of talking
Can I
about it,
shout out to him because off the court he's making moves.
phenomenal moves.
oh, now I respect him.
No,
to be
but
off
the
court.
shop, I'm just gonna throw
Yeah,
that out there
go
because
ahead.
Candace Parker and Elena Deladon were both on it, and I think it's great what LeBron does for woman out there, every child out
Including
there.
the female athlete.
Kudos to him as a human before you guys try to rip him apart. Okay, great.
Hey, we're gonna rip him apart because the things he's doing. And again, like I said, I mean, we're in a new era of athlete. Whereas the 60s and 70s, and we just celebrated 50 years of John Carlos
You
and
have to be more
Tommy
than an
Smith.
athlete these days.
Right. Then you had the years of Jordan, Jeter, that were just, you know, Republicans wear Air Jordans too. Now you're in a new era where you have Dwayne Wade and LeBron and, you know, Carmelo, and you got guys that are not afraid, you know, Steph Curry, are not afraid to speak up on injustices. So commend that. But let's talk about him on the hardwood. Obviously, the Lakers, he just went to LA. They lost their first game. They played at night. But your thoughts on his move to LA, and do you feel like it was good for the sport?
I don't think it had anything to do with
I feel like it's
basketball.
more of a lifestyle
I think,
choice.
yeah, I think his move to LA had everything to do with his family and his next steps that's going to happen when he retires.
Right.
LeBron James is also one of the biggest Hollywood executive producers right now.
Right.
His son is playing in high school and potentially will play
Right.
at maybe UCLA or.
Because they all do. All the celebrity children.
And
The
with
G League.
with Serena O'Neal, or he may, you know, play for the Lakers one day. Who knows?
Right.
But LeBron James has set himself up for his life after basketball. So shout outs to him. I think in game one we did see a lot of teaching moments. He did a lot of pointing, like
Right.
go there, go there. He did a lot of pointing, and he's working with the young core that needs to step it up.
It's going to be a rebuilding situation.
Right.
Yeah. He's trying to shape the team how he
Now-
wants to shape it.
Pete, you know, I like LeBron James. I'm a fan of the school and everything. But here's my problem with LeBron on the court.
Okay.
Okay.
That's your problem.
My problem is that when you think about LeBron's history, all right, LeBron is, I don't think anybody outside of maybe Paul Silas actually coached LeBron. LeBron coaches himself.
Oh, yeah.
Do you really think that that Walton could really tell LeBron? I mean, I'm on the bench, but watching on TV every night, LeBron saying, listen, we doing this. And
You saw in game one.
Yeah,
he was
exactly.
he was calling the plays. He
Right.
was doing the coaching, and he was doing everything.
Now, that
The New York
team-
Times actually made an entire article about how many times
Exactly.
he pointed and.
Right. Now, that team has got a lot of hard-headed individuals. Rajon Rondo,
Lance
Stevenson, you know, even
Michael
Beasley.
Beasley.
Right. So there's some guys there that, you know, I mean, listen, 8 years ago, Rondo was calling LeBron a female dog. You know, no disrespect to the puppy.
Lance blowing in his ear during the playoffs.
So
Come
my
on.
thing is that you know, it's okay, and I don't knock any athlete that has a second life, because again, most of these guys retired mid-30s, and some of them, you know, it's sad. Some of them have the Al Bundy mentality, like the poke high, like my best years are behind me. But there's an issue. If you want to be a Mongol in Hollywood, that's fine. But you have to focus on this team, because when you're still playing, it's all about legacy. Like people say, oh, LeBron's taking a breather because he knows that Golden State is going to win the championship.
Right.
I don't like that mentality as a fan. Like, don't tell me you step on the hardwood. When I used to play football, when I played, I probably wasn't, but I thought I was the baddest MF on the field. I
Right.
probably wasn't,
Right.
but you couldn't tell me. If you put me up to a lie detector, I would win. I would tell the truth. So when these guys are saying, well, he's doing this for these guys and he just wants to be in Hollywood, I have a
Are
problem
you
with
saying
that.
he's not handling his business on the court?
He's
though?
definitely handling
Exactly.
his
Yeah,
business.
but
especially-
again, we just talked about team.
But
Right.
no, but he is guiding. You saw him like.
But it's
like
not.
he's
It's
coaching
really
them.
again. It's not. Here he's guiding 26-10, but then
But
these
here's the-
kids can't learn just watching LeBron and all.
But here's the question
Can't
right
with
now.
that.
But here's
That's
the
a
question.
coaching problem.
But you just said that
Yeah.
like you basically said that he has to focus on the court. Like he's handling what he's doing LeBron
Right.
things on the court.
Uh-huh.
So it's not like he's switching it up just because
Well-
he became a producer.
But there's a couple of things like this. The thing I look at when it comes to all these things, what LeBron is doing, is LeBron doing this and everything else. If it's not really coming from him saying it, I can't go by that. It's actually that's his moves.
Right.
Because if it's not, I mean, anybody can speculate. But if it's
Right,
not
that's
coming
true.
out of his
100%.
mouth,
Right, but
of
you
what
gotta-
he's doing, but I'm saying, but it doesn't matter what moves he make. It just,
Right.
like I said, unless he's saying it himself, you can't keep speculating on.
But no,
stuff
the
he's
reason
doing.
why you speculate, because you follow, you know, again, you follow.
Well, he
the
moved to
path.
Hollywood, Spring Hill Entertainment. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
He's working with that production company
Well, I'm saying
to
it's good that
create
he's working
content
with them.
that's that's really paving the way for people of color like us in
Right.
media
Yeah. Oh,
and
no doubt.
broadcasting.
I-
But he's
Statistically,
also
I feel like he's still holding it down.
he's still holding it
No,
down
see, now
on
the
the
thing
court
is that
as well.
now the thing is I look at the same time like the things that you're talking about that him on the court. Yeah, he's doing what he's doing on the court. But you got to remember when we was looking at basketball back in the days, you had Magic who actually ran that team. You had Wilt Chamberlain who ran his team.
But
So, I
Magic,
mean, but-
Magic got a coach fired. We get that.
No, but I'm just saying. But
Okay.
you had players back in the days who's doing what LeBron does now.
Right.
Oh, no, you're missing my point,
Yeah,
Ed.
look at Golden State. Why is Doogie Howser still there and he's not really coaching?
Well, he shouldn't be coaching there anyway. They gave Mark a raw deal, but that's just my opinion. But no, I'm not knocking LeBron. I think LeBron James best player. I think LeBron James has passed Jordan, and that might even sound sacrilegious to some people.
Well, no, I think because of the I think because of the rings. That's the only reason why. But as an all-around time player,
Yeah,
he's
but-
the best all-around player.
But think about
But not as in the rings.
Look what LeBron is doing at this extended age, and
Yes.
he didn't go to college, so he got 3+. Jordan played 3 years at Carolina. He's got 3+.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that.
I
No, but hear me out. I'm saying that as a basketball player, I have a problem because again, this is just me. I'm talking about
Only
Kevin.
one game though.
Romanticizing about the fact that when he came back to Cleveland doesn't have much. Cleveland, that whole economy was built around LeBron. That whole downtown, I've been to Cleveland, ain't much happening in Cleveland, but that whole
So you feel
metropolis.
like he just abandoned us?
I'm not saying he abandoned. He can do everything he wants. It's his life. I'm just saying, as a basketball fan, I have a problem seeing him in
Well,
Laker
you
gold.
just said that we have to focus on matters of the court, and we can't pay mind to his outside life. So,
Right.
at the end
And
of
we
the
also
day-
said the business of business is
Yeah.
business.
True,
At the end of the
but
day, it's a
I also
quote.
said me. I've said as a
But
basketball
but
fan.
like we see what teams. I mean, not saying that anybody would get rid of LeBron, but we
Look
see
what
what teams
Boston
have done.
did to
Like
Isaiah Thomas.
yeah, I was just about to say like exactly.
I
So-
get that, but he's not Isaiah Thomas.
But either way,
Right.
you said pay mind to what he's doing on the court.
See, now the
He
thing
is
is,
handling his business.
I
on
get
the court,
that,
and
but
he
I
is leading.
said me as a selfish sports fan, I would prefer to have seen him
In
in
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
He did his thing in Cleveland.
Maybe
and
he'll
I don't
retire
have a
there.
problem
I
with
don't have a problem with him going to LA and doing something. I mean, wherever he went, he succeeded and did what he had to do.
He's a great
Well,
player.
Now-
these NBA front
now when
offices
you
are
look
not
at-
loyal. They told DeMarcus Cousins during the All-Star game he was traded. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
feel disrespect. So
True.
whatever LeBron
But,
could
he,
do
but
for
I think
him and his
Boogie,
family.
got that ticket because of what Boogie was doing. Boogie was their best player, but
Right.
listen, if
Hey, now.
you're a business owner, somebody's paying the tail to you. You've got to
These
go.
front offices
but now
aren't
the-
loyal. So
But the answer, Ari's question, that's a personal thing with me. Listen, these athletes can do that. I already said this on record earlier. I don't begrudge an athlete doing anything you got to do business-wise. I'm just saying, as a selfish fan, I don't see when you make a sports move. We said it's all we think is a business move. We make a sports move, it's about winning. So I don't think he's
Let's
got
talk
a better
about Kawhi
chance.
Leonard, though.
But see,
I
like
think
that's
they're
Okay, we can go there in a
mindset.
minute.
See,
Go ahead,
but
go
see,
ahead.
like that. See, like with LeBron doing what he did, I don't have a problem with. But I forgot his name has escaped me just now. But when he left his main team and went over to
Miami.
not Miami, come back to me. I forgot what's his name right now because it's
So,
over.
Kyrie?
Not Kyrie. No, Kyrie, I had no problem
Oh,
with because
okay.
Kyrie wanted to
Stay
be the
on
man.
point. Who are you talking about?
I'm just trying to forget from the Warriors.
Y'all talking about
Kevin Durant.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Now when Durant, now, it came back to me. I'm sorry, I had a senior moment.
That's another
Now, Durant. Now that's the one who made me mad. You
Kevin Durant made
went
you
all the
enjoy the
way
team
with
with
your
you.
team, and then next year you go to the enemy. And then I'm like supposed to sit there and congratulate you and make you all this glory and things. No, the team was good before you got there.
Team won
I have-
73 games.
But
But they was good before you
Yeah,
got
I
there.
know what I'm saying,
I
right?
just feel like
business of business.
I know,
is business.
but like as an athlete, you should have the right. I mean, no matter what what opinions the fans have, I think
Correct.
you have the right to go somewhere where you get what you want to achieve. Like
talk about the W.
well,
Trade.
the
But
W
see-
is way different. The
I
W,
know,
you,
right.
you could get dropped. There's only 140
I
spots,
understand.
but like Lord help him. But I just feel like as an athlete, you're so you're under the spotlight. You have to play the role that everybody wants you to play. If you watch The Shop, you see Odell talking about how he feels like a circus animal. So the least
Okay, let you
we could
finish.
do is just let them.
But don't part of that, and again, not to cut you off.
No,
but
you good.
You've done sports and you've done you're a reporter and you've done
She's been all
over the place.
I've done that.
But don't you think some of the things you mentioned, Adele, he brings on himself? Right, it's like almost like the circus animal thing, but he's saying, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Like,
Or
he
he's
did
saying,
that,
no, or he's saying,
Right.
or he's saying, I want to have fun doing what I do. And then
He's
if,
more
if,
than that.
if you're moseying down the mall and you're like, Odell dance, that even rubs me the wrong way.
Well, that's a connotation of racism on that.
So,
Yeah.
but
But
that's,
my
that's
thing
what
is,
I'm saying.
but also my thing is, you put yourself in a position where 90% of the time you do antics that make people look at you.
No, because, okay, so.
There are athletes in sports that are
He hasn't
not
had the
walking the
best
mall saying
off
damn.
the field media
Right.
But
presentation.
he's
He got
such a-
caught in a hotel
Right.
with a hooker and some.
But
Again, putting focus on
Nobody's
himself.
perfect.
Right. You can't have it both ways. It's just like, so taking sports out the thing. If Eddie Murphy walks down to a Starbucks, people are gonna probably say, Eddie, make a joke. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, look at me, and then we're human, but that is still gonna be on, because the reason why these guys make so much money is because people will follow that with a lot of money.
I think social media has a lot
And then
to
that's
do with
why,
Social media,
but that's
yeah.
why I feel like, because their life is, that sounds melodramatic because their life is taken, but they should be able to dictate where they want to be if they're going to be subjected to all of this crazy mess.
See, but the thing is, I can counteract that as well. Because look at the one person that you never heard anything bad about, and he lived out in the life and everything else, was always Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
Well,
And Derek
that's the
Jeter
king.
Derek Jeter was just one person that you're not going to find like that in a long time.
Well, the personalities are different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't be like, because my teammate Emily for the Knicks, or my former teammate, Lord help, she is like a fabulous girl. Like, she will walk around. She's known for her hair whips during
Right.
t-shirt tosses, and like that's her personality. Mine, I'm a step it out and clap kind of girl. Before we have different personalities.
Yes.
One draws more attention, maybe one doesn't.
Yeah.
But it's your personality. So you can't just be like, Odell's wrong because of his antics. Who are you to tell him that's their antics? Maybe he just wants to bust out dancing when he feels like it. Like,
but he's also got to realize there's a backlash to that.
yeah, and I don't think he doesn't realize it. He's very cognizant of it. But if he decides to up and go somewhere else, well, if he's LeBron and decides to go up and
Well,
go
two
somewhere
different
else,
sports.
obviously. I mean,
But I want to.
but
Can we take it back to the W? And we were just talking about
We
this
can
the other
always take
day.
it back to the W.
Two social media basketball influencers, Dylan and Dakota Gonzalez. They also play for the University of Nevada in Las Vegas.
Those are the twins.
The twins.
Yeah, okay.
Now so Slam Online reported that they have been in the gym training and they want to join the WNBA for the 2019 season. They want to play for the Las Vegas Aces.
Right.
And we're talking about dictating where you want to play. So I just wanted to pass it to Ari and get her take on it.
we could surely talk about this. Okay, so no knock to them, because
Weren't they playing the Master P League?
They were playing in the gender
no knock to
mixed
them,
league as
because
well.
I feel like any athlete should be able to train their way up to the top. But you played with 6 years of eligibility at a mid-major. No shade to mid-majors, but there and you want to use your influence to get into a league with only 144 roster spots where all Americans aren't even making a roster. So
Right.
that to me is confusing in its own right, and it's a little insulting because this isn't Instagram. And I'm not knocking them; they're beautiful people, and they work hard. They're successful at what they do in their own right. You give up your last year of eligibility for a singing career, and then you up and decide, and then you say, I want to go to Vegas.
So that's the cross
I have-
between entertainment and sport.
And that's
Right.
but for the W that only has 144 spots,
right.
you are like Odyssey Sims plays for LA. She can't even, and she's Team USA. She can't even choose which team she wants
Right,
to play on.
right.
So to me, you wake up thinking you want to play in the W and you want to play under Bill Laimbeer in Vegas.
Yeah.
Kelsey Plum and
Girl,
Yeah.
Asia.
Yeah.
let me tell you, like, first of all, they're guards. Like, what do you need? You know what I mean? Like, you have a Kelsey Plum, you have Mariah Jefferson.
Would
you
they
have
help
Lindsay
sell
Allen.
tickets, in your opinion, or just
They
because?
absolutely would, but put
Right.
them as a WNBA influencer. Do we have people who are millions of followers joining the NBA?
Right. Right.
Period.
Yeah.
Like, you have to
Well,
know your.
actually, speaking on that, NBA G League draft is coming up. I think it's today, maybe, or tomorrow. It's like one of these. It's in the next few days or
think
so.
it's tomorrow.
And one of the influencers, Jesse, what's his name, Jesse Jones, Filet. He's an influencer, and he's about to enter into the draft. With most likely, he will be drafted into the NBA G League.
More spots, multiple leagues in the men's basketball.
Right.
Sure.
144 spots, 12 roster spots per them. I have my friend Sierra Burdick, who got waived from Vegas, played at Tennessee.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and so you're thinking that UNLV, you want to go to Vegas and you want to take 2 spots?
Yeah.
Y'all not one person. Y'all are
Right.
2 people.
Right.
Who
You
gonna
think
pay? Who gonna pay?
you
Who
think
gonna
if
pay?
bringing them to the team, because what you're just saying, obviously talent wise, I mean,
I'm
athletic
not
wise.
knocking their talent.
No, I understand what you're saying, but it's just there's a line
There
that you
is,
gotta
there
have.
is.
Right.
But do you think if they did make the team, that would take the WNBA back a little bit because people will see through the mascara of
See, you
entertainment and
have,
sport?
here's the thing. Here's the catch-22. You have a player like Skylar Diggins, who was an All-American at Notre Dame.
right?
That's different. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Wayne shouted her out in college and got that following, that hype following. Because if you don't know any other WNBA player,
You know
the
Skylar
men will know Skylar Diggins.
That's true.
So that I respect, and she's a hardcore competitor,
Right.
and she made noise in college.
Congratulations on
But
your
you did
baby.
you did average at a mid-major, and the claim to fame was your Instagram. That bothers me. That
Right.
bothers me. And Dylan Coda, no disrespect, because
Right.
you know I think they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
But there's
But
a
that's
place
not
for
what
that.
the-
That's a place
that's
for
what
that.
it's
And
about,
so
right.
I think it's insulting to the players that are looking like, oh,
Right.
we work, and not just one day we wake up and decide we want to join the W. You don't join the W.
What did the Aces do in their opening year attendance?
So,
wise?
okay.
What was it?
The MGM does it right. So that is one program that I will say inherited this San Antonio team, almost made them a playoff team in their first year. Honestly, if the flight wouldn't, that airport stuff wouldn't happen, they probably would have made playoffs. The attendance was great. Asia Wilson, she has a strong following from South Carolina,
Right.
and she's Greek, so there's that. The NPHC backs her.
Right.
So.
Yep.
And then like the whole Dawn Staley legacy thing. And then you have a Kelsey Plum, who was also a first round pick. And, you know, Kayla McBride made noise. Everybody over
Right.
there. And then they have the entertainment factor of the Jabberwockies coming to their opening night. Kirk Franklin frequenting their games. They just did it right. So their attendance was higher than expected.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was a little skeptical about Vegas teams getting.
Well, I think Vegas has become actually
It
a
has been. You
metropolis.
see their hockey team.
Yeah.
You see their hockey team. So
Yeah.
it's
The Raiders
just,
are going there.
It's going in a great
Yep.
direction, but for you to just be an Instagram influencer and decide, I mean, granted, they can't
They
really
did
ball.
play college
They can't
ball.
really ball, but you're not going to tell me that you should make a roster spot over somebody like Sierra.
It's like Master
just not-
P when he was with the Raptors and Hornets. I mean, you guys, we as we've talked about through this process today is part entertainment. So, but I agree that would rub.
And then
some
this
athletes
draft
wrong.
coming in, apparently they're going to be stronger than last year's, which is scary.
Yeah.
You have Asia Durr, shameless plug, Louisville. But she's coming in with like, I mean, this kid is crazy.
Yeah.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what makes you think you have the, you know, what makes you think that's going to happen like
three
that?
main Instagram followers, I guess.
What makes you think it's going to happen like that?
Right.
When you have people who
You gotta work hard.
I mean,
Right.
who have been playing overseas every season trying to get into the league.
I want to move on real quick. I
Okay.
know we got a few minutes left. You mentioned both you guys mentioned the LeVar Ball thing and
Yeah.
how you guys
Yes.
are
Shout out to
fans of
LeVar.
that, and even with the league he's doing. I think they got the U.S. tour they're doing. Your thoughts on the what's that? Jello and Mello, the son. Jello. His name is Jello and whatever, Leanne, whatever.
Mello.
But again, since they're both ineligible for college, especially the young one. The young one's really good. Your thoughts on them making the NBA jump? Do you see it or?
Well, LiAngelo, he did not get drafted.
Right.
And I think that LaMelo has more of a chance to get drafted,
Mm-hmm.
even though he's ineligible for college, but now the professional
Right.
path. G League contract, he can possibly enter in there.
Right.
He's coming with experience. He's an all-around guard.
Yeah.
He's still growing.
Yeah.
He's like, 16, 17 years old. So he has definitely a bright future ahead of him. Now, we have seen in the media that LeVar Ball's antics, they call it, has definitely hurt his son, Jello. But also the UCLA scandal in China also didn't help him much, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
sticky fingers.
so
Almost didn't make it back.
I think that I think that LeVar Ball is definitely making strides. He's definitely opened up doors. He put pressure on the NCAA and for the NBA to, create something. I think that obviously maybe they've always been thinking about creating a professional path, but he really put pressure on them. LeVar Ball in like the last 2 years He's launched his own sneaker company.
Mm-hmm.
He has one of the first reality shows on Facebook. He, big baller, Brandon's everywhere. He has his own water in Lithuania. So he's making
Mm-hmm.
all of this stuff up as a black man.
No, I mean, I understand all that. And like I said, I don't disagree with a lot of that stuff. The only thing I think when it gets kind of be the situation with him is when he's telling coaches, you need to play my sons more.
All together.
You need to do.
And that's
when
what's
you
hurting
get-
his son's career.
That's when you start going into that realm.
But
I mean,
maybe
it's
it's not
okay.
a-
It's okay on the outside.
Coaches
what
don't
you're
wanna
doing,
deal with that.
But when you on the inside, you tell him, my son needs to play. He can do this. He can do that. You need to do this. You need to get these players.
Never lost.
Then it's
Helicopter
gonna start getting.
But
to
you
be a
know
little
what?
bit
He just has a microphone.
He also predicted the LeBron to LA.
Yeah.
He's like, LeBron wants to play with my son. He
I don't know if
predicted.
it was about his son, but
But it was
nevertheless.
more of his antics.
But I don't think he's no different than any other Pam. He just has a microphone in his face. I mean,
Yup.
what
Yeah,
about
For your
the
child, black man.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts, the Alabama quarterback?
Listen, I met LeVar Ball, and he definitely turns on for the cameras, but who wouldn't? The media's buying into it. He got
Crazy
a
like a
business,
fox.
right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, everyone bought into the LeVar Ball craze. You haven't really heard much from him this year.
Right.
Which is, he's setting up his younger son. I think that LaMelo Ball will get drafted.
I think Jello should try
I
for
think
the NFL.
Jello-
I believe.
You said the NFL?
Yes, I mean, listen,
Whoa.
Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez. He's he's what, 6'7", what, 240? He ain't gonna make the NBA, but he can probably,
But
put
out
the
of
work
all
in.
of the three sons, I think that Jello was probably the least likely, the least athletic. He's,
He can be Cooper Manning. He can just work for
The
big
middle
baller.
child.
Yeah. Ladies, we gotta wrap this up. I really want to thank you guys. We could talk sports all day.
We sure
Again, Girls Talk Sports TV. Where can people reach out and find you guys?
You can reach out and find us. I'm Christina Williams. You can find me at Christina Williams, KHRISTINA WILLIAMS. Christina Williams.
Ariel Chambers and at Ari Ivory, ARIIVORY.
At lady_Liss_.
That was a hard one. I had to.
Don't forget, you can catch Girls Talk Sports TV on Instagram at Girls Talk Sports TV. We have all of the latest sports news, and follow us on YouTube as well, Girls Talk Sports TV.
Again, continued success in what you're doing. I'm
Thank
a
you.
fan. I
Thank
watch
you.
and respect you guys wholeheartedly.
Well, definitely look at
Yeah, I don't know about that, man, but she's a guest on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. Christina J. Williams, Alyssa Jenkins, and Ari Chambers. Thank you, ladies.
Yo, can I get it in the morning? Every Saturday I be up, know your name. 950 Lounge on